Okay, everybody, good morning. Pilot Pete here in the beautiful Skyward Sim 680 Sovereign here on the ramp. I am in Crescent City, California on the ocean to do a scenic flight with you in real time down the road, not far, but we can go down the road to Redwood Coast County, Humboldt, California. It sounds neat. Beautiful, clear morning, a short trip, just 48 miles, but let's do a real-time flight and everything like that. I usually don't do these, but people were asking me for something like this in this jet, since I am type rated in this aircraft and have flown its littler sister, the Latitude, for a couple of years, but it shares the exact type rating, so I can technically get in a real-life Sovereign and fly it. So I will get in this one and fly it with you. Um, Beautiful looking, of course, here. I picked delivery off of PO site, 488 Kilo Charlie it is called, but yeah, really, really beautiful to see and look at, so we'll go get started then. I think I gotta take just a quick screenshot there. Sorry for the rude interruption, but I can't help it. It looks so beautiful. Anyway, alright, so I've got the engine started. Lots of videos out there. Blue Games and such has posted great videos on how to get this thing started. And I watch his videos. He's spot on, very realistic. So I haven't done that yet. Maybe I still will. With the BORIS audio sounds, the sounds effects are just incredible. But let's just go ahead and do a couple housekeeping things first. We got the engines going. I have 7,000 pounds of fuel in there. Just a typical amount of fuel. You know, once you get the engines going, whatever, you can hit Control E to do it, but it's automatically kind of fake. And let's just maybe just make sure that I have. Before I even start this video, let me just make sure I have the right controls set up, because this is where I've had a bit of a pain. Yeah, I have my. All right, I have that set up. I have my controller, which is an Xbox 360 unit setup. Alpha controls are honeycomb. All right, and Bravo throttle is honeycomb. Okay, good. So I'm good there. Because it sometimes just flip-flops to something random, and then I don't have what I want. So I got my flight controls free and correct here, and speed brakes work. Good, good, good. Engine reversers. Yeah, that works. That's unlocked. I can see that. The outside as well. There we go. Alright, so that's all. Everything's working good. Okay, so now I want to go to the little iPad tablet thing, and I haven't done this yet, so this is new to me. Let's take a look. Let's see, flight. Oh yeah, I was looking at the charts. So I picked up that airport there, CEC. I do have Navigraph on, McNamara. It shows own airplanes. It actually shows where located. That's really cool. I'm not familiar with that. Depart there. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Enter the departure ICAO. That's the one there. All right. In arrival, I'm gonna do this for arrival. Ooh, it uses the keyboard. Wow, that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna put an arrival here of ACV. ACO. Don't do that now. Don't wreck the video. Whatever. I had a key assignment to something. I hate that when that happens. So, whew, that scared me. I thought it was going to ruin the video. I'm such an amateur. If it did that, I really wouldn't know what to do. So, KACB. Let's just get this going here. KACV and search for it. All right, there it is. So I got departure. No. I am here now. This is gonna wreck everything because I'm not good at this stuff. I shouldn't have included this in the video actually. Okay. CEC is where I'm at currently. Oh, this is where I am. Alright. I'm not gonna mess your time with this because I don't know how to work this. Clearly I'm a goon with this, but I do know how to work the real airplane FMS, which is very important. But what I want to do is just go to the flight page all this stuff is, you can change your fuel loads. I want to add some people, because I don't have that yet. So payload, let's add a guy in back. I clicked on it, and is he there? Oh yeah, there he is. Well, it turns out it's a she, but that's fine. Okay, so Mrs. Lady CEO's there, and then throw another person next to her, and maybe one up there, and maybe one over there. So there's 4 peoples there, and they're going somewhere on this Sunday morning, whatever. Cargo bay, we'll add in 265 random weight, bang. So that's in there as well, so that'll work. So I got to remember, oop, there are 4 people. 4 people, 265, adjust the CG very nicely. Sim brief import fuel plus payload. I don't know. I'm a noob with that. Anyway, 26,000 is our gross weight here out of 30,000 takeoff weight. It's just strange. This airplane is bigger than the latitude I flew, but I'm noticing the weights are the same almost. It's strange. I got out of the latitude about a month ago, so now my brain is in Challenger 300 stuff. The latitude was around 30,000 pounds for takeoff. So this thing's only 700 pounds more, but it's a bigger, longer looking beast. Surprised. Huh. Well, anyway. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. Alright, so so we have those many people on board. Let's take a look in the rear area. Yep, everybody's there. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Looks like they're ready to go somewhere today. Okay. So we got 4 of them there, and then you can just look at other stuff, really cool things, but anyway, not familiar with the goodies there yet, but so let's do the real box. Very simple here. A few things to do. Let's just do this, because I don't want to wreck the video either again. I want to have a nice box initialization. Those of you using CHASEPLANE, if you don't have the window you want, you've got to make it. So what I like to do is steal an existing window, like right here, go like this, hit pencil, and then go to duplicate. And now I'm in the new window. So now I have my new window there, and I'm gonna just do what I want with it. I'm gonna zoom in and get closer, because for the purpose of this video, I think this is what I'm gonna want to do. So you can all see it very easily. Is something very, very close like this. So there we go, nice and close. So I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna assign a shortcut to it that I want, and then there we go. So I can bang around, and there we go. Look at that, right down there, right away. All right, so I'm gonna start off with these very important tasks. You must go in order. First is weight and fuel. You're gonna click on the little square, crew and stores. 400 people, 400 pounds of front, 2 co-pilots, 200 apiece, let's say, and their baggage, whatever they bring. Basic operating weight is there. Payload is important, so we have 4 peoples now, 4 of them, and I believe the default weight was 200 apiece, so we'll just add that in to match what I think is sitting there. And 265 on cargo, 265. So zero fuel weight is 19.2. Now we go to takeoff and hit fuel on board sync. So we're going to do that, and boom, you get your poundage and your aircraft weight. 26.3. Now I'm just curious if this is what this had. 26.7. All right, so these were a little, let's see, 1,000 payload. Let's see, so go back to here again, crew and stores, payload, 800 in there, plus cargo, maybe handbags, so let's 250, we'll include that each. We're trying to bring it up, 250, so 1940 fuel weight, and fuel on board is still synced. Takeoff weight of 26.5. How's that? Is that what we have over here? 26.7. Pretty darn close. Close enough now to continue the video with this. So we have all that. Landing weight we don't worry about. So when you come down to the end of the boxes, you get next. Add the origin. If you don't know where you are, you can type it in, or hit the hourglass and it picks up the nearest airports. Ain't that cute and neat? So there we go. CEC, add en route waypoint. There'll be none. Go right to the destination, which is Kilo Alpha Charlie Victor. Enter. So there we go, and that's it. Now we can go down to procedures and depart a runway. CEC will just depart. There is no departure thing like a SID. So let's see here. I have befuddled on this before, even in the real airplane, actually, just for some reason. Let's see. All right, maybe it's because it's a small GA airport. So no departure procedures. I think I have an idea. Let's just go back here for a second. Continue back. We got to get some takeoff data in. So origin, and here we go. Now we pick the runway. They're all the same, so we'll just go off at runway 30, 5,000 feet long. Bing, it's in there. So now we're gonna go next. Oh no, weather. Load METAR weather, 06013. Temperature, use the outside air temp, 15C, perfect. Runway there shows all this stuff. It shows the elevation, heading, gradient. Takeoff config, we can go flaps 1 or 2. We'll go to 2 because it's a teeny bit shorter. Reversers are stowed currently for takeoff versus max reverse. Oh, this is cool. I don't know what that means. I don't remember that in the latitude, that option. But anyway, they're stowed for takeoff, obviously. So you can change your takeoff factor for 135 companies and shots. Rolling takeoff, no. That means, well, let's turn it into a yes and see what it does. That just means we don't stop, we just blast. All right, and we roll onto the runway and go. Takeoff data, well, check flaps because our flaps aren't set at 2. So let's do that. 2 notches down. We're at 1. Let's go to the second notch and get the flaps down where they should be. There we go. And accept speeds, and it's locked in. So now in the PFD, you'll see your V speeds have already populated. There they are, V1, 99, 102, and 112. Very simple. Grab some espresso. All right, done there. Go back again, there we go. All right, so next, now we do the auto tests of all the equipment on board. Very simple, go in order, hit stall warning, press it once. It says in progress. You'll get a light and a shaker of the yoke, and you'll also get a thing, AOA probe fail, that's normal, AOA probe fail, the yoke shake, you can hear the vibrator. So that is the stall test, and you're going to find out that it says it's done. All right, engine fire, press this one, in progress, right and left masks, engine fire left and right, engine fire. Fire detect, it illuminates the fire bottles down here as well. I'm sorry, the bottles are up here. I just got the airplane confused with something else. All right, well, they're up here. So you could hear it wasn't too loud, but I could have my volumes adjusted. Anyway, engine fire, you'll get the master caution warnings and a message up there as well. And the bottles will illuminate like as if in a real fire, okay? That's done. Smoke detect. Baggage fire, it says. Baggage fire. And that's normal, just that, because the baggage area is protected as well. You would press this in real life, and it would illuminate the bag model, which is the way the baggage area gets extinguished. It actually comes out of the nose. Okay, now we're going to go to Annunciator. Press this, and in progress, it illuminates all the lights around the place. So if you trying to press the ladies in the back or whatever, there you go. All the lights are lit, and you can see it. Very simple. And that will end when it's done. At nighttime it looks better. Even overspeed. Traffic is automatic, by the way. Hit overspeed once. Beep, beep, beep. And you can hit it again to stop it. You don't have to let it continue. HF1. HF1, you got to do this. Test the HF system. This takes a few seconds. And we didn't have this on our latitude, so I'm not sure what it's doing right now. So it's going to do its own thing there. All right, and HF2, let's get that one done. Hopefully this video is easy and you can follow along. Always excited to be able to do a real-time video in real time. So I hit next arrow, and now you want to accept the initialization. All 4 pre-flight boxes are done. Boom, and you're done. And you're ready to get going now. Again, now we can go to flight plan and go to procedure, and I think it doesn't have runway in there yet. Well, whatever. The takeoff numbers would count. If there was a sudden star, you'd load it from there. Very user interface friendly, this whole thing. I loved it. It was very easy to do in real life. Here's a cool little thing over here. Go to aircraft systems, and you get a summary page there, and you'll see everything you need to know about the airplane. Make sure everything is good. This is really cool over here, though. I got to show you this. If you go to lights, exterior lights are automatic in the airplane. In normal mode, the beacon goes on when you press the engine starter and shuts off when you shut down the engine. It's really cool. In a pulse of TCAS RA, the lights in front will pulse automatic. Nav lights are on right now. They're on automatically too. In the latitude we have normal, so. But as soon as you apply any power, ground power or APU, you will get a nav light illumination. Really neat stuff. Temperature, adjust cabin temp. Very, very cool. Just like real life. I love it. You can adjust everything you want. Add a little more warmth if you want. It's a cool morning. Love the sounds of this stuff. I'll tell you right now, the sounds are incredible. This is just taking track of which FADEC is in use. It'll be the engines. APU is off at the moment. We did temp. Whatever. Shows the cabin situation in bleed air. Fuel as well. A little schematic of what is going on up there. Same with the main electrical page. Very nice to have. And we can start the APU. No, I didn't have it on right in this example, but in a low altitude trip we'll fly with it, so we'll just go to the on switch, wait a second, and let it do its firelight test. Once that's out, you should get parameters up on the screen, and you do right there. And now you can start it. Just a 2-second click to the right. 1, 2. Ooh, listen to the engine sound. The main bleed air just cut out as the APU's firing up. Listen to that, and then it came right back. The sounds in this thing are mind-blowingly incredible. Like the BORIS audio, this is exact thing. I am a sound crazy nut, and they really did it here. And intensely amazing. All right, so if you want a full screen, you can actually hear the APU winding up, even over the engines. Wow. Probably see vapor outside, maybe. I don't know. I have a rear camera, I think, somewhere, but not the best example right there, but anyway. Alright, now where was I here? So APU is on, that's always good in waiting, but we don't have APU bleed air because you can't have both. You can have engines, right? Engines take over when they're running, so anyhow, there's that. Now, I'm not following a checklist in front of me printed. I don't have a copy of that right now. It's very simple. I don't advocate not doing checklists, but it is Flightsim right now. And actually, I think there's a checklist system on here. I didn't even have this on the latitude in real life. Wow, this is really cool. All right, well, for the interest of the video, and most of you folks, yes, most people do not use checklists in the Flightsim kingdom. It's a great idea. Certainly recommended, but it's an easy peasy one anyway, and it's simple flows. We're just going to double check everything's on. We did the performance, we got this and that. Oh, the auto throttle system. Let's explain this to you all. When the speeds are in pink magenta, the auto throttle will control your speed. So that is great. But if you put it to manual by flicking that over, now the colors go to blue, and you control them yourself. So I'm using a key press, which, let's say I want to have 200 knots in the target, it's there. But the airplane is very clever. In FMS mode, it knows everything. It knows right now that we have a flaps 2 hanging down, so it's going to restrict us to 160, or perhaps a traffic pattern speed, because we're at a class D, so it knows 200 will be the limit, or 160 if we have a flap dragon. Really, really neat stuff. It knows airspace above and below. So it's pretty. We'll leave it in automatic mode for now to demonstrate. We're doing a short trip. It's only 40 miles. If it's 40 miles, that's 4,000 feet, roughly. Just so you know that. That's how it works. How to get out of. Let's see. Push to fine. Push fine. Trying to change my altimeter. There we go. 4,000 we'll call it. Down low. 50 miles is 5,000 feet. Just a little tip in case you guys didn't know that. Ready to taxi. So let's get on a taxi light. Taxi light will be on. There it is. And we'll release the park and brake. We're going to press in and get rid of it. Alright, let's go. Honeycomb problem right now. Park and brake is still on. I have a keyboard command. There it is. Keyboard command 1. There, the park and brake is down. When you go on, it's up. Off is down. It looks like a shell on the beach. Anyway, let's taxi out to the runway. We're going to be departing. What are we doing? I guess we're going out south. Oh no, that was the direct. We were going northbound for takeoff. Yeah, let's do this too. I don't know. I have Navigraph plugged in. I'm so excited. Let's try this. I don't know if I've done this yet. Info, no available charts. I don't know why. No available charts. Interesting. Chart options. Navigraph. Sign in. I've already signed in, everybody. Oh, I'm not going to do this again. My God. My God. I just... FAA chart? And one more thing. This is Lido chart. Charts. Info. Chart options. I think Lido is the Flightsim chart system. Oh, charts status. Well, I don't want to get down a road that I can't, that I look stupid at. Well, alright, we'll figure this out later. I don't know. Anyway. So much for the charts anyway, for now. Alright, so it's a good VFR day. It's like a training flight, add a little taxi thrust, and let's get... Oh, well, I love the sound of those engines powering up. I'll make a nice turn to the left here. Just incredible sounds, just amazing, amazing sounds here. Let's just make sure I'm in the right place. Oh, I am. Okay, good. Differential power here for the turn. I don't have a key command for the go-around bars, but they should show up that way. There we go, on the throttles. I should just make a keyboard flick for that someday, but I haven't done it yet. Alright, on the taxi, we're going to check the brakes. Good. Now we're going to check the reversers. Click them in, engage. They should go unlock, deploy. Here we go, and take them out, and from the outside we'll take a look at that too, so you can see what that looks like. Alright, let's unlock them, deploy one click, here we go, and then stow them. So that worked good. We check the brakes, and also a rudder bias system will, when we throttle up on one side, you're going to get trim. Anyway, my mind is distracted by something. You're going to power up on one side and you're going to feel a pull on the rudder pedals. Kind of hard to do right here. You just throttle up one side to about 40% or more, you're going to get a kick, and then you bring the other side up and you're going to get a kick, and that's testing the rudder bias system, which helps in an engine failure situation. Those of you using FS Realistic, I want to make sure that isn't screwed up as well. The profile is, I have my own in here. I don't know if anybody is. My gosh, yeah, it doesn't show up. I got to talk to FS Realistic people. Anyway, let's just make sure that I have a few ways to tell if it's mine or not. First sound is mine. I know my ground roll settings are very custom. Yeah, there it is too. I cannot stand to have cabin panic off, breathing, braking. Breathing is off, good. So, and all that stuff. So, okay, it looks like that's my profile. I wish I could. I just don't know how to do this. Mine is in there. I shared it to the world, but I don't know how to get it. Anyway, it's just called Pilot Pizza Sovereign. Anyway, if you can find it, I don't know. But anyway, we're good there. Alright, so before takeoff, I do have FATSTAG flaps to indicate 2 air brakes are stowed. Trims are there. So flaps, air brakes, trims, and speeds are FATs. Follow the checklist as well, but that's going to lead you down there. That's about it. Make sure that your panel is clear in terms of AP bleed valve closed. That's what let's call it our CAS screen or ICAS screen, whatever you want to call it. EIS, many different names. So that is clear. There's nothing bad there. That is typical normal spot. Is my nose wheel turned? Yeah, it is. Notice the nose wheel is pink. Come on, let's go. And lineup items are going to be exterior lights, get the strobe on, and for daytime only, I tend to like pulse. That's what we use in real life a bunch, is just the pulse only. Don't really need much else. They have a great job of representing the pulsing lights here on the aircraft. Can't taxi very well and film, but especially from outside view, but it's really cool looking. So glad we all have FS realistic and CHASEPLANE utility. Alright, runway 36 here. We are lined up and ready. I am holding the brakes. I guess I said I wasn't gonna, but I want to show you the auto throttle. I'm going to just... The auto throttle in real life is clicked on by tapping these 2 buttons right there with both of your fingers as they drape around. Tick, tick. Actually, just hit one of them, I think, or both. Oh, you know what? That's cut off. My mistake. Here's the auto throttle engagement buttons right here with your thumbs. You can hit those. I have a button press on the honeycomb, and I'm going to make sure auto throttle is ready. Tap it, and away we go. And I'm going to move the throttle up until it grabs. TO up here will turn a color. Here we go. TO is ready. It is taken over, and it's in hold mode. The FADEC is taken over. There's the hum of the engines, all right. Absolutely gorgeous. Speed's alive. Airspeed is good. 380 knots. V1 rotate. And away we go. Gear up. Here's at 500 feet. Flaps retract and power to climb thrust. I bring my power back and, oh, well, actually, you know what? I'm an auto throttle. Give it a vertical command, bink, and it will go to climb thrust automatically. Now, why is my auto throttle cut off? There we go. That was my mistake. It's just gone by itself to MCT. It's targeting 200 knots for the traffic pattern. So it is in command. You see MCT is matching perfectly purple and purple. Now it's targeting 250 because we are out of the Class D. So we're going to level here at 4,000 feet in 1 second. I am still hand flying it, leveling at 4. Woo, there we go. I want to make anyone sick now. Leveling at 4,000 by hand still, and she's powering back to 250 knots. Alright, I'm going to put the autopilot on and go to heading, and altitude hold is on. Look at that. I love FS Realistic, but why does it keep putting on pilot panic? I don't want to hear my heartbeat. Where is this? I can't stand this. Where is it? Breathing? It drives me nuts. Gotta get rid of this. And I can't find. Oh, pilot stress off. I don't need to hear this. I'm going to lock this out forever. Settings. Disabled effects. Pilot stress. Get rid of it. Forever. I hope that does it. I don't know. Anyway. Drives me insane. Okay. Start my left turn here. We're just at 4,000 feet because we're going so close by, but a great way to look at the scenery today, California coastal areas. But I want to get show you how the FMS works as well, so we will. We're just going to go flight plan, tap on our destination. We'll get these options. You go direct and activate direct to ACV. Bang, there you go. And just make sure your nav source is illuminated. Let's go there. Trying to show you a picture of the panel. Now, I don't have a camera set for it, so and it's nav FMS right there. Otherwise, you're just going to go do over here. I just don't have a camera for it for some reason. Nav. Navs gives you nav, gives you FMS. So it's got ACV in there. Now it shows 60 miles due to our outbound for a minute and fussing with FS Realistic. There we go. Zooming out, and you'll see it on the big fat map, which is how I fly in real life too. I like the big fat map. Now I did have charts over here at one point. Not really sure how to use any of this yet, of course, as you know. There's the destination ACV. There it is, so that shows up. We'll be there in 13 minutes. And let's go up to 8,000 feet. The power of the airplane is really good. We'll go to 8,000 feet, and I'll hit LNAV at 250 knots. Not LNAV, sorry, flight level change. There we go. Flight level change. Listen to the engine spool. Yes. There's that hum we love. And look at the climb rate, 6,000, 7,000 feet a minute, 8,000 feet a minute. Oh yeah. And that is very, very realistic. MCT, 8,000 feet a minute. Ba-boom. And throttling back a bit, because we're already about to roll off here. Since it's a level at 8. No, I don't know what that was. Might not have left. I don't know yet how this works perfectly. Might not have left me when I went to the outside camera. Maybe it bothered it. So let's watch the level off here. Now it's leveling off perfectly, capturing 8,000 feet. Such a rapid climb. This is very realistic, and all the jets I've flown, flight level change works good, but it could make you a little woozy because it sometimes does a little bit of extra pump. Everybody seems to be fine back here. Alright, so cruise down the coast. Look at that. A little hazy, but a beautiful morning otherwise. Alright, let's do our speeds for landing now as we get back into the box here. Go to perf, landing data. CEC runway 30, we can land there. That is a 5,000 foot runway, or 3.6 off the ocean. Let's just change it for you, just so you'll know. 3.6 is fine. Landing weight shows there. Weather, load the weather. There's the weather again, and so that works. Runway, we're going to use 3.6, 5,000 feet. An up gradient is good. Landing config, it's always full flaps. Anti-ice is off. Reversers are max reverse, stowed for landing. Now, I don't get that one. But anyway, landing factor, that's great. You're going to leave it at 1 for Part 91 operations. landing data accept. Here we go, 106, 113. It shows we're going to use only 2,400 feet of runway out of 5,000. So this is a very short field landing jet like the Latitude was. Ref was 106. Nice and slow. So we're done with that already. So you remember your 106 is all you have to do. Alright, there's a reminder of flaps too, by the way. Flaps and gear speeds just sitting in there to remind you. Anyway, very nice and simple. The speed's already loaded. We are there, and we are now 9 minutes out. Time to start descending. I will dial in down to about 1,500 for the pattern, let's say. And I'll just go to my vertical speed mode and dial that down. These are using keypad buttons on the keyboard I use. You can configure anything to do it. And the auto throttle keeping 250. Now, I don't want 250 screaming in here. I'm still 40 miles out. Well, in this case, I do want to keep 250. That's silly. And maybe not even quite yet. I'll do 1,000 foot a minute. There we go. Because 4 times 3 is 12. We should really be at 12,000 feet still. Dang, I started down way too early. All right, well, whatever. I'll go 500 feet a minute. We can still chit-chat for a minute. I think it's good here. All right. There's also a Unicom, so for realism, I'm gonna turn up the volume on the Unicom. FSATC chatter is a great little program to have in the background. The noise balance is great. Again, a little rush of wind at 250 knots. You can hear the engines to some extent, but not greatly. Can't hear the engines too perfectly, but they're back there in the background. And we'll just go check on the passengers for a second. A little low altitude to do this kind of thing, but just want to let you know that there are some surprises on board. You can open the tray, open that. You can turn on music, which is really cool.
About 3 miles southwest.
Pretty cool, so you can turn on music there.
Traffic,
there is a bathroom window on both sides, which is pretty amazing. Wish I could walk faster. It's slow here. Alright, well, ooh, that's pretty loud. So normally we can't have distractions up in the flight deck, so I guess I'll have to turn the music off. Sorry, ladies.
Traffic beach jet arriving from the
Alright, back in front again.
left traffic runway.
Time to start down now, a little bit more hefty. We are now 30 miles out. 3 times 3 is 9. That's okay. We'll come down a little bit faster. And let's go to manual speed. This is how we do it in real life. Well, a lot. Believe it or not, the FMS is wonderful, but it keeps you coming in really hot because 250 knots till 5 out is a little bit fast. 5-mile radius around a Class D. So I'm going to slow it down now to 200 in this segment. 200 knots. Here's a rule of thumb: 25 miles, 250 knots. 20 miles, 200 knots. If you're 300 miles, you're 30 miles, do 300 knots. If you're at 10,000, just a rough guess for you guys. 10,000 feet, you should be in the 10 miles in the hundreds of knots. So how's that for a good little memory device? And that's going to be very, very loud, I know. I like my realism, but you won't be able to understand me with that radio babble going. So yeah, that was a few little memory item tricks. Altitude times 3. So if you're at 100 miles, you should be at 30,000 feet. At only 50 miles, 5 times 3 is 15. So let's see, 10 miles, 10 times 3, 3,000 feet at 10 miles. If you're 5 miles, 5 times 3, you should be at 1,500 feet. 2 miles, 2 times 3 is 600 feet at 2 miles. So you can give yourself these little things that when you're on a short mile final, you should be at 300 feet. And for speeds, once again, at if you're cruising and you're 20 miles out, 200 knots. If you're 30 miles out, you can do 300 knots. If you're 10 miles out, you should be at 100 knots, but you can't really fly at 100, so call it in the 100s, maybe like 180 or so, 10 miles out. 170 is typical at a large airport till 5 mile final. All right, we are getting close now, everybody, to the runway and the traffic pattern. My multiple views, there we go. I'm going to decrease the range down a bit. We are now 20 miles out. And a little bit on the low side still, but we're okay there. Airport must be up there somewhere on the peak. Or just beyond the peak, I believe. It is past the peak up there. Okay, so we got to go over that scenery here. We'll just, alright, we're gonna speed up here a little bit. We'll go 300 and pretend that nobody's looking. Since I got down so low so quick. Now watch how this stops. Oh, 300 knots. Woo, that's too fast. Dang it. There's the red line. Beep, beep, beep. My red line in this thing is like 270 knots. So somebody wrote me and wanted to know some traffic pattern speeds and tips and things like that. I'll do that in the pattern here. And once we enter the traffic pattern. So be landing north, I said, so let's do that. Looking at a chart on my over here off the side of me, so runway 32 at ACV. And now we can start to slow down seriously. We might be buzzing over the red lines here, looks like, kinda, doesn't it? Ooh, kind of a little bit low here. Ooh. Well, we're showing an altitude of 500 feet. Okay. Well, that's pretty woodsy over here. Uh-oh, there's some antennas there, some radio towers. Surprised I'm not getting a JIPWIS warning right now, actually. Oh. Wow, yeah. Probably scared a couple of people hiking or something in the morning. All right, well. Airport will be approaching soon. It's a very high flap speed in this. Both the Citation Latitude and Sovereign here have a 250 knot flap 1 limit. So we're encroaching upon the airport now. We'll go to flap 1. This is for stability and also to get the nose not from rising too far up in the clean configuration, so we can look over and see over better. That's the reason we do it, and it keeps us appropriate for the traffic pattern up ahead. All right, so I'm going to go now to heading mode and bring myself a heading bug around. There's my bugs. I'm going to just go to heading bug for the traffic pattern. Aim it south because we'll be landing on 3.6. And I'm going to start slowing down now, maybe like 160 knots for the downwind like pattern. If it was real life, it'd be like Humboldt County traffic, Citation Sovereign, entering a left downwind for 3.6 Humboldt County. Alright, I'm at hand fly now. Autopilot off, and for the demonstration, I will leave the auto throttle on. It works so good. I often don't like it in real life, but I will leave it on here. Flaps 2. I'm killing the flight director because I'm visual stuff right now. And there we are. I beam the downwind in 3.6. On the left downwind, gear should be coming down now, so we'll do that. Leaving the auto throttle on. I'm using a little spin knob on my honeycomb throttle quadrant, so I'll have that right next to me the whole time. Your rumbling sound is kind of loud. It's not quite that loud. That's an FS realistic thing, so you can just go up to FS realistic on the fly. If you have that, go to the gear drag. Gear drag sound way too loud. You don't really need all that. Just sometimes these things seem to get reset. But anyway, gears down, and it does make a fair amount of noise, but it's not quite that loud in real life. Alright, so we are on the left downwind still. We are at flaps 2 right there. And our landing ref is still way down. Then we'll go to flaps 3, full flaps now. See the flaps move off the back? Well, they're tucked under. You can't really see them in the receipt. Anyway, we'll turn the base leg and throttle back now. Start to flow. I'll target 120 knots on the left base since we're light. Fairly light anyway. And gear down 3 green, no red. Flaps are set. Air brakes are stowed. Landing target rep is in. Humboldt traffic. Citation jet turning left base 3.6. There's the runway over there alongside the beach. On the short final, make sure the auto throttle's off and yaw damper off is remaining on the checklist. Alright, I'm going to throttle back again to my ref speed now to show you how accurate it is. Humboldt traffic, Citation jet is short final, 3.6 Humboldt traffic. Well, actually not 3.6, I don't know which runway it is. Looks like runway 1, everybody, and it's 4,500 feet long, so a little bit shorter than I thunk. But this is still well within limits for the aircraft. Short final, yaw dampers off, auto throttle. You're actually allowed to keep to like 80 feet or something, but I'll kill it a little earlier than that. And right now it's showing idle thrust because it's all it needs. It's like, yeah, anyway. Oh, and this is still beautiful. Look at the flight path vector showing it's right on the touchdown spot. I do love that thing. And we are right at 103, 104 knots. I need to take control of the field and control, so auto throttle is off. But it works perfectly, as you can see. It really does a nice job. Very little thrust needed. I'm at idle right now, 108 knots.
200.
I might just leave it at idle all the way in from this point. AOA shows me right on target. They're in the center post. Power stays at idle, all the way at idle, all the way in the flare.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Nice touchdown. Speed brakes out. Go into reverse. Unlock. Good deploy. Reverse 70, up 60, come out. I haven't even touched the brakes at all. Now I'm touching brakes. Touching the foot brakes. And there we go. Let's make a little turn here for a second. Oops, the wrong way. Let's go this way a little bit. Sensitive steering, but could be honeycomb. It's also, it is a very good real-life sensitive steering. aircraft, very realistically done. A lot of developers don't make the steering sensitive enough. This will give you a very nice, precise, look at that lock wheel turn, look at that. That wheel's locked and you're turning perfectly, so great job from these folks. Alright, flaps come up and spoilers retract. Love the grooved sound. People that aren't pilots don't realize this sound almost sounds like your engine's spooling up, but it's just the grooving laterally across the runway. All runways are grooved nowadays to keep water runoff better and coming from pooling. So with the nose wheel on the ground, whether you're in a Boeing airliner or a bizjet, it's a very loud buzzing sound. You get this, and the Flightsim developers have picked up on this. And that vibrational humming is what you hear as you go over grooves. As soon as you leave the runway, the grooving noise stops. I'll make a left turn over here. Now notice the grooving has ended. Okay. We'll head into the FBO area here. Here by the biplane, it looks like. After clearing the runway, by the way, there's several things you want to do. First is the lights. Let's get rid of the strobe lights. Pulse lights come off, switch to taxi light, and make sure that the pedostatics are off. This is a flow, we do pedostatics come off, very simple. That's associated properly, and we'll get the APU going as well. Oh, I had that running anyway, that was always running. So we're going to be switching to APU bleed air, because we're going to shut down the engine in a second. Okay. I went onto the taxiway. Well, it's very hard to... That's pretty good about taxiing in the blind. Yikes. And completely without... It's kind of funny, because I really can't taxi in the flyby view very well. Alright, let's just pretend we are going to stay here. Park and brake is coming on now. And park and brake shows low pressure, so it's 3,000 pounds in the system, but press on your foot pedals and then it'll go away. Now, and it's in white, you're in great condition. Alright, so now we're going to shut off the engines because the APU is running. So the shut off engine, you're just going to uncover the, let me just show you a better picture of this, but in case you don't know yet, but you're uncovering the little cover. See the little cover? Uncover it and hit stop. Uncover, hit stop. Listen to the wind down. And you'll actually hear the clitter clatter of the blades. Ah, listen to that. So realistic sounds. Alright, and taxi light should be off, yes. The beacon is automatic, that is also gone. Whew. And that is it. That's like the longest video I think I've ever made. If you're still watching, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something cool, and I don't know, hopefully it's a little different than the other tutorials. I don't know if I'm the only type-rated guy doing videos on this plane. I feel like I might be, actually. So please like and subscribe and help me get my numbers up so I can continue these great, fun videos. So thanks for watching the Pilot Pete Flight Sim Flight Level channel. Leave comments. I'll be on there to answer questions as soon as I can. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.